Hey, 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 happy day. Climate change. You know what? I'm frozen with hope. I hope that the climate changes to a warmer place. That'd be my frozen with hope, don't you know? I watched a match just the other day on YouTube. It's funny, I was looking at other things, and all of a sudden a billiard championship from way back in the 70s came up with Minnesota Fats and Willie Mosconi. Mosconi. And I watched it, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was kind of poor quality now, but it was a great game. And Minnesota Fats, he breaks me up. I met him back in the early 80s, and I had an appointment to see him, and he was living in Nashville, and I went down and I said, "Hi, I'm Brian." He said, "Hey, call me Fatty," and he starts pulling out all of his press releases and news, and he said, "I'm the best that ever lived." And I said, "Oh, okay then." Anyway, he was a really nice guy, and I hired him. He worked for me for 6 years. I had a billiard cue company out of Nashville, and he was an interesting guy. His room was full of awards. He had a girlfriend named Ginger. He was probably in his mid-70s, and she wasn't. Anyway, watching him play pool was interesting. He stood up. I played a lot of games with him, and I never won. But he'd stand like this and hold the cue and shoot, boom, and the ball went exactly where it was supposed to go. Kind of fun. Okay, the other day, a woman reporter called me. I've had a lot of people phoning me asking if I'm going to run for the leadership of the Conservative Party of Canada, and I'm not. And she called and she said, "Do you speak French?" I said, "No, do you?" And she said, "Well, you can't run if you don't speak French." I said, "Well, firstly, if I learned French and then ran, all the people in Quebec would really laugh at me because I wouldn't do it well, right? I'd destroy their language. I'm old and everything else, and why would I do that? And everybody could understand English anyway." "Not everybody," she said, "and the country says that you have to speak French." And I said, "Show me where that's written." I said, 95% of all French-speaking people in Quebec understand English. So why would I make a mockery out of their language? Get over yourself. "But everybody says." And I said, No. The press says. And I said, "And you're not ordinary media. Ordinary being in a free country, because $60,000, I'm really going on here, but $60,000 of the wages of every person that works in the media in Canada comes from the government. They're owned by the Liberals. They're owned by the Socialists, and they're an extension of the Liberal government, and they're telling me what the people think? That's not what it is. You're telling me what the Liberal government thinks." Ottawa, there's a lady there. She's an MP, member of Parliament, Candice Bergen. She's seriously now looking at launching her own bid for the Conservative leadership party. She's the only one, I think, unless she's changed a lot. I haven't seen her for a number of years, but I know her. I've had dinner with her, and she's right-wing. She really is. Again, it's been several years. Maybe she's changed because people go to Ottawa to change Ottawa, but Ottawa changes them. But if she hasn't changed, she's the person. Candice, I know you watch this show. Give me a call. Send me an email. I'd like to talk to you again, reconnect. Take some of my ideas and run with it, and you're a lot prettier than me, and maybe we can get out of this mess. Senator Bernie Sanders. He's another loud, consistent voice for socialism. Socialist policies, and socialism is good. And it's kind of like the Canadian definition of socialism. Let's all be equal as long as I have more. I mean, this guy, he's rich. Why is it that you're rich if you're like that? I mean, I've said before, presidents go into office poor, like Obama and Clinton. They come out multi-millionaires. Trump goes in as a billionaire. He's probably going to come out as a millionaire. But Sanders, he had no money. And his wife, though, started to run his advertising campaign, and advertisers get paid up to 15% of the money that they spend. At last election, they spent $85 million. Do that math. That's a lot of dough. And she continues to get richer and richer. They own all kinds of houses and blah, 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 blah. And I'm a socialist, he says. Boy, oh boy, is there a consistency there? I think so. Politicians like him, when they come back in their next life, I think they should be a hay dealer. That'll be secondhand grass. Y'all come back tomorrow. See ya.